Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Purna Sindhu, Dinabandhu, Jagatpade, Gopisha, Gopi Kanta, Radha. You can chant Hare Krishna. We actually tell people chant Hare Krishna. When they do that, then we're suggesting with that the path of bhakti. Not the Mayavadi chanting anything, but a person may chant Hare Krishna, but they may go towards the Mayavadi sector. You know, and this is very common in India. Bhakti Fest. If you go around to Bhakti Fest and just that person down, so you're chanting Hare Krishna, just interview them, you know, in such a way. I've never done this, but I would say, you know, you're going to get almost no like, this mantra goes to Krishna and we are devoted to Krishna. They'll say it goes everywhere and anywhere, and you'll get a lot of pure light and all this stuff, all this love fest stuff. You might even say, and then you realize it is Krishna, Ganesh, it is Shiva, it is Vishnu, it is all the same. It's all one. Very Hinduism. Very Hindu. You won't get people saying, yes, we were chanting, worshiping Krishna, and the next one they're doing Om Namo Shivaya, Om Namo Shivaya, and the girls are dancing and the boys are drooling, and it's just like, that's what Bhakti Fest is, you know. It's just a hodgepodge. But in it, some devotees go there, try to preach. I think one year even Bodhaya Maharaj went there or something. Probably he won't go back twice. It's like a waste of time. Bhakti Fest. Also, Priyananda goes there. People go there. They try to do some good and everything, but just like, you know, try to feed the jungle animals with a little cup of bird seed. It's just, it's pretty much a waste of time. Anyway, what was I saying about that? So anybody can chant the holy name. So what is Harinam initiation? That is one, the shelter and guidance. That's what that means. That's where the descending process starts. Before it's just all ascending. Diksha. Now it depends, when these things are written about who has Diksha, that is the meaning of a Vaishnava. That was written before the advent of the holy name. So things have changed. Things have changed. There has been addition since the time of Caitanya Mahaprabhu. There's Chaitanya Charitamrita. So everybody doesn't have to take second initiation. But if you read certain things, it'd be like, I'll tell you a confusion that's set in. And here's how it's set in. There's a letter from Srila Prabhupada that says second initiation is the main initiation. So, after the time of Srila Prabhupada, many devotees just had first initiation. They didn't have second initiation. And then their godbrother, one of the ISKCON gurus, would then give them second initiation at some later point, a few months later, a year later, whatever. And in some cases, it was universally accepted at that time, when they took second initiation from their godbrother, but they'd taken first initiation from Srila Prabhupada, they were told, now you're my disciple. Which some people would have thought, well, it'd been better off maybe just to remain Prabhupada's disciple, but not have second initiation. And this persisted for almost 20 years. 20 years! That's almost the time you've been alive, Jagat Guru. This idea that if they took second initiation from a godbrother, because the letter said main initiation is second initiation, that now actually the main initiation from a godbrother, so their main guru is their godbrother. And this is a subject matter which is dealt with to some extent or significantly in Sri Guru and His Grace. So after about 20 years, they corrected that folly, and there was a resolution, kind of like the Pope gets to free all the children from limbo, passes a resolution, and they passed a resolution that said, Well, after 20 years, well, actually, if you took second initiation from your god brother, actually, your main guru is Prabhupada. Well, unfortunately, some people went to the grave with this misunderstanding. You see. However, if they would have listened to Srila Sridhar Maharaj, they would have never had this misunderstanding. But they didn't. They chose and picked and supermarket shopped for what they thought was good for them. And this misled, this is just one of the things which misled the movement in different directions, sometimes creating complete havoc and confusion in people's spiritual lives. So that Puranic verse that a Vaishnava is one who's received Diksha, this is before the advent of the Sankirtan. And the Mahabharanaya, the magnanimity of the Sankirtan movement supersedes the strict rules, regulations, and otherwise sometimes limited conceptions of the Vedas. So the real thing at Harinam, and that is, like I said the other day when I said now, for a moment you're being seen by Krishna. You're being noticed by Krishna. You're now accepted into the family, Chuta Gotra, the family of Krishna. So that's Harinam initiation. But people can chant the holy name without it. We tell them to do that all the time. We just passed out some beads the other day, right? To Blanca and some Julian, and got beads, and Carlos Ortiz, he's been chanting on beads for 4 years. Yeah. You see? But they haven't, none of them have accepted a guide. They haven't, and they're not under our shelter. We're like, they're at the back door and we're passing out some tortillas. We're just feeding the poor out the back door, and if it's like trying to, I don't want to give an example of dogs, but it's like trying to attract a deer from the forest. Come on, here's a tortilla, come on. And if they come in, then they might enter and become part of the family of Krishna. Otherwise, that which they do will be given to them in the next life, and they come a little closer. I mean, once devotees asked Prabhupada, what great deeds did we do in a previous life to get your mercy? And he said, none. Don't think that you've been great yogis and you've done this and you've done that. I have created your fortune by coming here. Now, for someone born in Estados Unidos or Mexico, it shouldn't be hard for us to think like that. Like, yeah, right. I didn't have any good anything. It's all been created for me. Right? But if you're born in India, well, okay. But Kali Yuga, but India, you're born in Vrindavan? Well, yeah, not everybody's born in Vrindavan or Mayapur, in a holy place, even on the banks of the Kaveri River and all this stuff. Well, maybe you did something, but still, one should think of themselves as lower than the straw on the street, not full of qualifications. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey Krishna, Purna Sindhu, Dinabandhu, Jagatpade, Gopisha, Gopi Kamita, Radha